I lay a futon down in the living room and place Ilya on it. Even though she's unconscious, Ilya's face looks calm and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her. Hey, look away! The bandage will slide off. Or don't look away. She hits my back. Slap. Ow! Tosuka! That's no way to treat a wounded guy. Shiro, don't you know Tosuka doesn't give a fuck. That's that son. Shut up. I'm treating your wounds, so be quiet for a while. Here, raise your right hand. I don't think it's necessary, but I'll put some medicine on it as well. Yeah, I don't need to treat you. You don't need help, Shiro. It's cold. It's fine if you can feel. Here, we'll wrap this up next. Surprised you still can, considering he got fucking... I mean, he should kind of be dead, I would think, as he got stabbed with a magical dagger. I don't know. Guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. She skillfully wraps the bandage around my right shoulder. It's past 10. After returning to the living room, Tosuka started to treat my wounds. She started, but the wounds have mostly already healed, so all that's left is to treat them just for show. Strange how the wounds already healed. Done, but you sure do have a strange body. Only vampires have bodies with such healing powers. Are you implying the existence of vampires, Tosuka? Are you really human? No, I'm actually Edward Cullen. I think she asked me something similar a while ago. Hey, I'm a normal human being. Bullshit. I don't even know how this is happening, so I can't give you an answer. Don't play games with me, boy. Don't play with me. Wouldn't a normal human be up and running after they've had their spinal cord cut? Yeah, how does that heal by itself, Shiro? I never asked because it was useful, but it's getting too freaky now. Maybe you're from some place where people can only be killed by decapitation? Yeah, maybe he's the Highlander. The worst part is, Tosuka is seriously considering that. Maybe she's kind of stupid, I don't know. She might come after my neck one day with an axe in hand. Probably. There can be only one, Shiro. Hey, don't you think so too, Saber? I think you're the cause, but it's too far beyond human. Huh? Shiro's healing power is not his own? Of course not. Do you think someone who only knows strengthening magic could do such high-class magic? His absurdity must come from being connected with you. I can only guess that your healing power is flowing into him. Is that so? I've never felt such a connection. If that were the case, my magical energy should be flowing into Shiro even now. More importantly, my healing power is not as strong as Shiro. Saber, why the sudden pale face? Saber is staring into space as if she can't hear Tosuka. Apparently she just came to some huge realization we're not aware of. No, it cannot be. Shaking her head, Saber looks away. Question marks everywhere. Tosuka and I look at each other. Saber's acting strange. No, I know why. Saber's spirit has been low since that golden night appeared. And asked her to marry him. Well, let's put the matter to Shiro on hold. More importantly, Saber, did you know that gold guy? He was saying you were his. Ellipsis. Saber doesn't answer. It's obviously something she doesn't want to talk about. But I still want to know. Tosuka's question is mine as well. Saber, tell me if you know. Who was that guy? You called him Archer. Yes, I do not wish to admit it, but I do know him. But it is impossible. There are only 7 servants. He cannot be summoned. Servants? So, he's a servant? No, that's obvious. But in that case, there's a big problem. He is of class archer. Of course, he's not the archer whom Rin made contact with. His abilities and character are too different. I know that too. It only lasted a short while, but I was able to feel how much of a monster he was. And how conceited he was. Hold on, that's not right. If he's the servant archer, that makes 8. Good job, Rin, you can count. 7 should be the limit of the summons in a single period. It's not like they restock when some of them disappear. After all, even the Holy Grail doesn't have the magical energy to summon more than 7. There's 7 servants because that's the basic limit, right? Then how can they summon an 8th? Hold on. Saber, you met him in the previous war? Oh. Saber, what have you been hiding from us? Yes, Rin. On the last day of the previous Holy Grail War, I fought against him in a sea of fire. My body tenses up for an instant. Saber fought him in a sea of fire? It's nothing new. Kodamine already told me that the fire was caused by the Holy Grail War. So this shouldn't be a surprise. It's just, I was unconsciously trying to not think about it until now. What happened? Did you beat him? No, I did not beat him. No, I could not beat him because You were beaten instead? He's someone you couldn't even beat when you were properly summoned? Saber hangs her head and doesn't answer. That pretty much answers her question. Saber couldn't win? Not just the imperfect Saber as she is now, but Saber with her full power? Is that even possible? If you look at her skill as a swordsman, Saber certainly is invincible. Admittedly, Saber was the weaker against Berserker, but Saber has that noble phantasm. The noble phantasms of the other servants are powerful, but Saber's exceeds even them. I don't think there's any hero that she can't beat using her holy sword. Excalibur! Then there's only one possible explanation. He's not a servant summoned in this war, but a servant that remains from the previous war. It only makes sense when that's true. My mind stops. It's not that I agree with Tosuga, but what she said matches what I've been hoping for since yesterday. But that's the only possible explanation. Only 7 servants can be summoned to each Holy Grail War. If there are other servants, they must be the winner of the previous Holy Grail War. Am I wrong? A heavy silence. But why is she in such a good mood? Tosuga, what are you so happy about? Of course I'm happy. There's a precedent. I don't know who he is, but he's the guy who won the last Holy Grail War, right? Then he must have obtained the Holy Grail, and he's staying in this world because of its blessing. In other words, he's proof that you can keep your servant in this world if you obtain the Holy Grail. I want to capture him and question him about it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know who he is, but he's a servant and he's still here after the previous war. That means there's a way for Saber to stay in this world like him. But I don't know if she wants to do that, Shiro. Well, we don't know who he is or what his motive is, but I'm sure he's an enemy we'll need to defeat. So, Saber, what's his true identity? I do not know. Even at the end, I cannot tell who he was. The hero did not have a noble phantasm symbolic of him. He doesn't have a symbolic noble phantasm. That can't be true. A servant without a noble phantasm can't be a servant. And besides, he did skew or cast her. Actually, that would probably make it harder, but whatever. Yeah, he was using so many. It should be easy to work out his true identity with so many noble phantasms. You just need to identify the appropriate hero for them. Then let me ask you, did you recognize any of those noble phantasms? Of course. Let's see. Tosuka ponders. She thinks about it for a minute, but then she tilts her head in confusion. No way. That's impossible. What's wrong, Tosuka? What's impossible? I can't believe it. The bloody one was probably Dansleaf, and the one like a sickle was Herpé. There was one that looked Chinese, another that looked like a Buddha thing. Tosuka looks crazy, talking to herself. I guess this is what you call digging yourself a hole. It looks more like she's sulking than just confused. The one that was similar to Saber's sword, that one was similar to Saber's sword, but it should be different. It seems like it's from Northern Europe, judging from its simple design, and most forms of demonic swords are from Northern Europe, but she starts to grit her teeth. Hey, Tosuka. There's no point in leaving her like that. I have to stop her now, or there'll be some damage. I don't need to add that I'll be the one damaged. Tosuka, come back. Jeez, be quiet, Shiro. I'm getting confused because you're bothering me. I'm not trying to disturb you. It's about his noble phantasm, right? I saw Dansleaf, Herpé, Durandal, Vajra, and Kaladbolg. Oh, and I saw Gaybolg. I couldn't identify the Chinese one, but those are the most famous ones, right? You're right. I'm hurt if she makes a face like that. I'm not knowledgeable, but it just popped into my head. But what does that mean? That he can use multiple noble phantasms, I guess? No hero has that many noble phantasms. No, more importantly, the sources are all different. I don't understand it. Yes, that is why I cannot tell you his true identity. He has an abundance of noble phantasms, the proofs of a hero. I could not narrow down his true identity because he had so many. The two ponder. Well, there's certainly no way to tell if he has that many. It's like holding a tree in a forest or something. Shiro, do you have anything? She glares at me. Yeah, she's definitely taking it out on me. Have what?
だから気づいたこととか推理とか、とにかく瞬間的な
Anything you noticed or guessed, anything that popped into your head.
私たちに必要なものは意外性のある意見
What we need are unexpected opinions. Only accidents solve a deadlock situation. She might be right.
なるほど。お前、俺のことバカにしてる。
I see. You're making fun of me, right?
失礼ね。戦力外だと思ってるだけよ。
Wow, thanks.
どうなの?
Don't be rude. I just think you're useless. So, do you have anything? Nothing. I give up, honestly. Tosika groans in regret. She looks like she's about to kick her ass, too.
結論は一つね。セイバー、あいつが使ってた宝具はみんな偽物だと思う。
Then there's only one answer. Saber, don't you think they're all fakes? Nothing else can explain it.
同意見です。
I feel the same way. However,
いや、あれ
no,
偽物じゃない。
they're not fakes. How did they arrive at that answer? First of all, he wouldn't have been able to pierce Castor with fake noble phantasms.
エミヤ君、その根拠は?
Oh? What do you base that on, Emiya-kun?
だからあれは本物だって。むしろ他のが偽物。
I'm saying those are real. Rather, everything else seems fake.
は?
Huh?
いや、あくまで直感なんだ。その、うまく説明
Well,
でき
it's
ない
just
んだ
my
けど。
intuition. It's hard to explain, but those are real.
ランサーの持ってるゲイボルクはもちろん本物だけど、さっきのやつが使った槍もゲイボルクの
Lancer's gay bulk is real, but I think the gay bulk he used is real as well. Yeah, it's hard to explain if she makes a face like that. No, forgetting that, why did I think that? It's just that all these things he used were noble phantasms. I can feel that. Is it because I used projection against Berserker? I could tell that they were real noble phantasms just by looking at them. Conception dwells in superior weapons, and something is missing from weapons that merely imitate them in shape. I realized that when I imitated Saber's sword. By that argument, I think that all the noble phantasm he used were perfect.
まあ、シローの発言はとりあえず
Well, putting what Shiro said aside,
あいつの正体がわからない以上、次は目的なん
as
だ
we
け
don't
ど
know his true identity, his objective is next. Tosika sneaks a glance at Saber.
あいつも
His
聖杯を狙って
objective
る
is to
のは
make you
当
his
然とし
waifu.
て、気になる点がもう一つあるのよね。
We already know he's after the Holy Grail, but there's one other point I'm curious about.
セイバ
Can I ask
ー、
you
はっきり
directly,
聞いてい
Saber?
いかしら。
Man, why does she put that on that really evil smile when it comes to this kind of subject?
それはどういう意味で
Because
し
she
ょう
likes
か。
teasing people, obviously. What do you mean, Rin?
尋ねたいことがあるのならば、遠慮することはあ
You
り
do
ませ
not
ん
need to
が。
hold back if you wish to ask me something.
そうなら聞くけど、セイバーはあいつをどう思ってるの？あいつ
I
の言い
think
ぶり
he's
か
a
らする
total
と、
asshole.
どうもセイバーにお熱のようだったけど。
Really? Then I'll ask, what do you think of him? From the way he spoke, it seemed like he really has the hots for you. I do not know the meaning of those words, Rin. I'm not following Tosika's lead, but I sneak a glance at Saber. Tosika is saying it wrong, but it's true he was attached to Saber. No, it wasn't that nice. He saw Saber as his and only his.
彼が何を考えているかなど、私の知るところではありません。ですが、前回の戦いの折、求婚された覚えはありま
I
す。
do not care what he thinks
無
about,
論、
but
剣
I
と共
remember
に
that
切って捨てました。
he did propose marriage to me in the previous war. Naturally, I deflected it with my sword. I cut off his hand when he proposed to me. Marriage? You mean... What? What is that servant thinking?
この場合、喜ぶべきか微妙だけど、それなりに悪い気はしない。
Wow, I don't know if you should be happy in this case, but you don't feel too bad about it, right?
サーバントになってからも求愛されるなんて、女冥利に尽きるって
You
もん
must
じ
be
ゃない。
happy as a woman to be proposed to even after you became a servant.
そのようなことはありません。元より私にそんな自由はない。
That is not true.
私
I
の
have no
目
such
的は
freedom to begin with.
聖杯を手に
My
入れる
goal
こ
is
と
to
です。
obtain the Holy Grail.
正直、あのような戯れ
Honestly,
事は
such
寛にされます。
nonsense irritates me.
そう？
Really? Even if you feel that way, he was pretty into you. His type doesn't care how much they're rejected. Yep, he's the typical stalker. You're stubborn too, so it might be a good match for. So he might be a good match for you. I totally disagree. I don't know what's so funny, but Tosuka's words are irresponsible. Tosuka seems to be happy to be talking to Saber about this kind of thing. Saber seems to have no interest, but.
ですからそのようなことに関心はないと言っているでしょう。彼は確かに優れた英霊ですが、私とは考え方が違いすぎる。
I'm telling you, I have no interest in such a thing. He is certainly a superior heroic spirit, but his way of thinking is too different from mine. Exactly. Saber answers honestly. Basically, he's a total asshole and she's not. Oh, did you hear that, Zero? Saber has no interest in men. Are you relieved? Rin, I believe that is of no concern to Shiro. Your statement is a little strange. Derp. She just looks cross-eyed every time she does that expression. I would think so. That was a mistake on my part, but the strange part is the funny part. Tosuka laughs evilly. Her eyes seem to be laughing not only at Saber, but at me as well. I know what's going on between you two. You can't hide it. It irritates me for some reason, and I stand up. Huh? Where are you going, Shiro? Tea. I'm thirsty. I'll get some for everyone while I'm at it. I spit that out and go to the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm irritated, so I think I'll prepare extra bitter tea for Tosuka. I also put a little something special inside of it. Then I'll go back to my room. Let's have the complicated talk tomorrow after Ilya wakes up. After messing a lot with Saber, she drinks the bitter tea and stands up. Yeah, go to sleep. Don't come back. Just stay there. Yeah, I'll leave the rest to you then. I don't know what's so funny, but Tosuka leaves in a good mood. What are you going to do, Shiro? You should not push yourself even if your wounds have healed, so I think you should rest for tonight. Yeah, that's my plan, but I'll watch over Ilya for a bit longer. I'll move her to her room if there doesn't seem to be any problem, and I'll go to bed after that. I see. Then I shall accompany you. I have no objections to that. Our conversation ends there. It gets really awkward once it's quiet, as Tosuka was the loud one. No, awkward isn't the right word. There are things I'm worried about and things I need to say, so my mind is impatient. Come to think of it, what I want to tell her is all a mess. About the Holy Grail. About her still being alive. Even if she does obtain the Holy Grail, there's no salvation for the girl called Arturia. I don't even need to say why. She has no wish for herself even now. Saber, about what we were discussing before. Our eyes meet. Her awkward eyes seem to know what I'm going to say. Yes. What is it, Shiro? She tries to block my question with a calm voice. But I have to tell her. About what we were saying earlier. Tosuka said it too, that servants can stay if they obtain the Holy Grail, right? Then... No, I have no intention of staying here. I will return to my original time once I obtain the Holy Grail. And you're going to redo the selection of the king? You're going to start everything over and not save yourself on the verge of death? Right. It is the duty of the king to protect the country. My powers were not enough, so I must at least select an appropriate king in my place. Her words really make me angry. You idiot! Wake up! The duty of the king doesn't matter. You're here, so you should do what you want to now.
セイバーは強いんだろならさっさと戦いを終わらせて聖杯を手に入れてサーバントなんてやめればいい
You're strong, right? Then finish this battle quickly, obtain the Holy Grail, and quit being a servant.
願い事があるんなら昔に戻ってやり直しなんかするな自分を変えたいんなら昔じゃなくて
If you have a wish, don't go to the past and redo everything. If you want to change yourself, don't change the past, but change who you are now. You know, Shiro does kind of have a point here. Saber doesn't answer. She gives a small sigh.
シロ、しつこいです。その話はもうやめ。
You are obstinate, Shiro. I want you to stop bringing this up. She firmly rejects my opinion.
それに、聖杯があればこの時代
And
に
it is
残
not
れ
as
る
if I
とい
can
うわけではあり
if
ま
I
せん
can stay one, and it is not as if one can stay if one obtains the Holy Grail.
アーチャー、あのサーバントは聖杯を手に入れたから残っているわけではない。なぜなら前回の戦い
Archer,
で
that servant does not remain in this time because of the Holy Grail. It was impossible for anyone to obtain the Holy Grail in the last war. Saber, what is that?
ないものは手に入れようがないでしょう。あの日、街が炎に包まれた時、
It is impossible to obtain what does not exist. On the day when the town was in flames, the Holy Grail was destroyed
私を裏切ったマスター、エミ
by the master who betrayed me, Emiya Kiritsugu. Oh shit. Well, she just dropped a bombshell on us. My vision closes in. I hold my body steady with my hands as it's about to fall.
エミヤ
Emiya Kiritsugu?
はい。10年前、
And you kind of kept that from
世
us,
界
didn't
の
you,
聖杯
Saber?
戦争における私のマスターは彼でした。
Yes.
私とキリツグ
He
は
was
最
my
後まで
master
勝ち
10 years
残り、
ago in the previous Holy
聖
Grail
杯は
War.
キリツグの手
I
に
won
渡
to
った。
the end, and the Holy Grail came into Kiritsugu's hands.
アーチャーとそのマスターはまだ残っていましたから、あとは彼らを倒すだけで聖杯戦争
Archer
は
and his
終了す
master
るは
still
ずだ
remain, so the Holy Grail War should have been ended by their defeat.
ですが、キリツグ
But
は聖杯を捨
Kiritsugu
て
threw
た
the
の
Holy
です。
Grail away.
その結果、
As a
街は火
result,
に
the
包ま
town
れ
went
まし
into
た。
flames.
あの男は私に命じて聖杯を破壊させた。
That man ordered me to destroy the Holy Grail because the servants are the only ones that can touch the Holy Grail.
キリツグは最後の令状を使って私の手で強制
Kiritsugu
的に
used
聖
his
杯を
last
破
command
壊させた
spell
の
to
で
force
す。
me to destroy the Holy Grail.
聖杯が失われてはサーバントは
Servants
この世
cannot
に
stay in
と
this
どまれな
world
い。
once the Holy Grail disappears.
キリツグも私をとどめようとは思
Kiritsugu
わ
did
なかっ
not try to keep me here either.
た。私の記憶はそこまでです。あのアーチャーとの決着も私を裏切ったキリツグ
My
を問い
memory
ただ
ends
すこと
there.
もでき
I
なかった。
cannot ask him about the betrayal, nor settle my match against Archer. Well, it's not like I never thought about it. Father was a Magus. If he lived in this town all his life, he must have been involved in a Holy Grail War. But still,
なんでそれを言わなかったんだ
why didn't you tell me my father was a master, Saber?
親父
通常サーバントというのは以前の記憶など持ちませんし、同じ英霊がサーバントとして召喚されることです。
Usually, a servant does not hold memories of previous summonings. The same hero will not be summoned as a servant again. I'm an exception to this rule, so I believed I should not mention this fact to you, Shiro.
それにシローにはキリツグがどんな
And I did not
マ
wish
スタ
to
ー
tell you
だ
what
った
kind
の
of
か
master Kiritsugu
気
was.
が進まなかった。
気が進まなかったって
Why wouldn't you want to tell me?
シロー、あなたが私の過去を夢見たように、私もあなたの過去を
Shiro,
見てしまった。
as you've seen my past in your dreams, I've also seen your past.
あなたのことにも驚きましたが、キリツグの代わり
I
を
was surprised by your past, but I could not believe how much Kiritsugu had changed.
シローの記憶にいるエミやキリツグは立派な人
Emiya
物です。
Kiritsugu is a great person in your
で
memories,
すが、
but he is not like that
私の
in
記
my
憶にある
memories.
彼はそのような人物ではなかった。一言で言ってしまえば、彼は典型的な魔術師だった。己が目的にしか興味はなく、
To state it simply, he was a typical magus. He was only interested in his objectives, and he eliminated everything in his way. I could not see any human emotion in him. He only spoke to me 3 times during the whole war. I do not think I need to tell you when he spoke to me. He was not cruel nor a born killer. But he did not have anything that you would call emotion. Just as he treated me only as a tool, he treated himself only as an object. Kiritsugu killed every emotion and killed every enemy. I do not know what he believed in to make him do so, but he ordered me to destroy the Holy Grail when it was in front of him. To be honest. I've never cursed the command spell of him or a master who has betrayed me, more than I did at that time. There's some truth in Saber's words. No, they must all be true. Come to think of it, I don't know what Kiritsugu was like before that time 10 years ago. I couldn't guess anything about him before that time, and I saw no need to learn about such things. It doesn't change a thing, even if Kiritsugu is cold-hearted. The man that adopted me was really childlike. So my memory is my only truth. But what hurts my heart is, if Kiritsugu was really a cold person, his last moments were just too empty.
I
see. Maybe I was able to summon you because I'm his son. I do not know. Kiritsugu summoned me in an illegitimate way. As Kiritsugu's aptitude as master was high, he was hired by a magus family with a long history and entered the Holy Grail War. I heard that everything he needed to become a master was provided by that family. They had excavated King Arthur's artifact from Cornwall and gave it to Kiritsugu to use in the Holy Grail War. Kiritsugu used it as a catalyst to summon me. So Kiritsugu himself does not have any factor to summon me, nor is his attribute close to mine. You probably summoned me because of some other factor. I get it. It's not too surprising that Father used to be a master. What's surprising is that his servant was King Arthur, the one standing in front of me right now. And one more thing. Saber said that the Holy Grail was destroyed. Then, isn't this war completely meaningless? I don't get it. You already knew there's no Holy Grail anymore, right? So why did you decide to take part in this ridiculous battle? I certainly do not know if the Holy Grail actually exists, but it would be strange for there to be no Holy Grail if I'm summoned. Have you forgotten, Shiro? I became a servant to obtain the Holy Grail. To put it another way, I will not be summoned unless the Holy Grail is present. Well, then... The Holy Grail can restore itself even if it's destroyed? No, the Holy Grail is not something easily replaceable. It would be impossible for a destroyed Holy Grail to be restored. Then... But should it exist? Servants are summoned since they are drawn to the Holy Grail. Servants would not exist if there is no Holy Grail. That priest said so as well. Priest? Oh, it's him. The supervisor of the Holy Grail were living at the church. That man that manages the Holy Grail must be able to answer all my questions. The end of the previous war. What happened to the destroyed Holy Grail and the servant archer? And yes, what did Kiritsugu see at the end of the battle to make him destroy the Holy Grail? Oh god, are we gonna ask Kotomine all that? I don't think that's a good idea. I wake up alone. Even if she has recovered, Saber still has to sleep periodically. Saber went to bed right away after that, and I went to bed to relieve Saber. That was an hour ago. It's past midnight. I'll be able to sneak out without Saber or Tosuka finding out now. Uh-oh. Not a good idea, Shiro. Don't do that. Going to go visit the obvious... I'm not going to say anything about him, but he's, I'm just going to say there's a lot about his character that makes him pretty obvious, if you get what I'm trying to imply there. The creepy priest at a creepy church on a hill. I go out without making a sound. I thought about using the bicycle, but it'd be a problem if I wake them up by doing so. They must be really light sleepers if that would wake them up. I guess I'll walk there. There's no one around. Even if it's midnight, the silence is abnormal. The air is frozen and I can't sense life from any of the buildings. On the other hand, I feel a contradictory heat under the road, as if there's a whirlpool of something black. Has something happened to the town in the few days I was held at Ilia's place? It feels like ill omens are everywhere. It's not just me. I look up at the mountain in the distance. The Ryudo temple, which is far away from the city, looks like a black lump from here. It's just that. It seems like it's throbbing along with the night wind. It has a mind of its own. I crossed the dark river and walked to Shinto. That's right. It's already been 10 days since then. That day. That night I first met Saber and walked on this bridge with Tosuka seems like so long ago. Yeah, 10 days, holy shit. It seems like longer than that. I see the church. I've never been to the church. Even though I told Tosuka that, I do have a connection to this church. I was supposed to be entrusted to the church and adopted somewhere later. The Emiya household or the church. Come to think of it, it was a big turning point. 10 years ago. All the children in that hospital were orphans, and they were all temporarily entrusted to the church. I was the only one of them adopted from the hospital. That must be why. I felt kind of guilty and unconsciously avoided the church. That's why I told Tosuka it was my first time visiting the church on the night 11 days ago. The lights in the church are still on. I don't like that priest, but there's something I need to ask him. Well, let's go. I take a deep breath and go through the heavy doors. No. Yep, there's that music. Priest Kotomine, are you here? I keep on walking while I call out. I can't sense anyone in the chapel. Nope, leave, boy. Just leave some money in that donation bin, that donation basket, and get out. Even though the lights are on, it's so big and quiet that I feel more afraid than I would in complete darkness. Hey, is anyone here? There's no reply. I can't go in any further, so maybe I should give up and go straight home for tonight. I instantly turn toward the sound. So, it is Emiya Shiro. What are you doing here at this time? The sudden encounter leaves me speechless. It is late. I was going to sleep, but your expression suggests that you seek confession. Kotomine says so and returns to the door he emerged from. This is my creepy underground dungeon. Only few may enter my lair, Shiro. I permit you to enter. Oh, no, wait. I had something I wanted to ask you. This is where I keep all the bodies. And the children. I know. I will not turn anyone away even if they come at odd hours. Saying so, Kodamine opens the door to the back of the chapel.
ついてこい。話といっても聖杯戦争の件だろ。そんな血生臭い話を
Follow me.
ここでする
I'm
わけ
sure
に
it
はい
has to
か
do with the Holy Grail War. I cannot have us talk about such bloody subjects here. Kodamine disappears into the back without waiting for my reply. I've come this far, so I can't go back empty-handed. I renew my determination not to be intimidated by Kodamine and follow him. Wow, the outside was brilliant, but the inside is exquisite as well. Is this a courtyard? There's a peak. There's a park and a passageway that seems too elegant for Kodamine to live in alone.
何をしている？話をするのならこちらに来い。
What are you doing? Come here if you have something to talk about. The priest turns yet another corner. Man, he really doesn't wait. I follow him, complaining. The church is like a small maze, so I have to follow him obediently. It's a modest room made of stone. This inelegant room seems to be Kodamine's.
もてなすものの一つもないが許せ。
But I have some non-alcoholic wine. I am unfortunately out of alcohol. I have nothing to welcome you with, but forgive me. Kodamine says so while sitting down. Is this the faint smell of wine? He must really like it, if the smell is lingering in this room.
どうした？話があるのではなかったか？そこでほうけられていても。
Did you not have something to talk to me about? It is bothersome if you just stand there dumbfounded.
誰もほうけてなんかいない。この部屋が意外だったから驚いていただけで。
I'm not dumbfounded. I was just surprised by this room, and I'll go home right away once I'm done with my business.
それは何より。私も子供に付き合うほど暇ではない。
Bitch, I'm a teenager. Shut up. Good. I do not have enough leisure time to socialize with children either.
質問は手短に
Keep
して
your
もらおう。
questions concise. Yes, no long expositions like last time, Shiro. As expected, I hate this guy. Why doesn't he let me exposition? It feels like he can read my mind, and I feel intimidated when I talk to him.
それで話は何だ、エミヤシロ。
So, what is it you
一応
wanted to
教
talk
え
to
られる
to
ことは
talk
全
about,
て教え
Miyashiro?
たつもりだ
I
が。
believe I've already told you everything I can.
嘘つけ。あんた
Don't
は知
lie.
ってたはず
You
だ。
must have known about it.
親父がセイバーのマスターだったこと。
Yes, exactly. He was just fucking with you the whole time. Shiro, you should have picked up on that.
あんたは聖杯を管理している監督役。
My father was Saber's master, and he destroyed the Holy Grail. You're the supervisor that manages the Holy Grail, so you must...
ほう。セイバー自身がそう
Did
言ったの
Saber
か。
say that?
ああ前回の聖杯戦争はそうして終わった。
Yeah, I heard that's how the previous Holy Grail War ended. No comment. The priest sinks into silence as if pondering.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。セイバーは故障しているのか。
It is unusual for a servant to retain their previous
あのセイバー
memories.
そのものが
Maybe
異常な
Saber
の
is a
か。
failure, or Saber herself is abnormal.
何にせよ。通常のサーバントとは言え
Either
ないが。
way, you cannot claim she is a normal servant.
英霊は記憶
Now,
な
we've
ど
already
だ。
kind of gone over that. Heroic spirits do not retain memories.
過去。
Well, we've already gone over that she's not a spirit, at least.
いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては
There would be contradictions if they did, since they are summoned into many ages, the past, present, and future.
奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記
All
憶
they
さ
have
れ
are
ないは
memories
ず
from when they were alive. Anything that happens to them after they become a heroic spirit should not remain in their memory. The priest ponders as he must not assent to the fact. I see. He doesn't know that Saber isn't a complete heroic spirit yet, so he's having trouble understanding.
いや、それが違うんだ。セイバーは他のサーバントとは
No,
事情が
that's
違
wrong.
うら
It
しい。
seems that Saber's circumstances are different from the other servants.
事情が
Don't tell him
違う
these things, Shiro.
なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。
Different circumstances. I see. So that must be why you came here. Alright, go ahead. I definitely am not going to use this information against you or anything. I don't like his haughty attitude, but this is no time to oppose him. I don't like it, but this priest might give me some answers. Well, different from what a priest can usually give you. It seems Saber isn't dead yet. She still hasn't completed the contract to become a heroic spirit. Something like, she wished for the Holy Grail on the verge of her death, and she agreed to become a heroic spirit as the price for obtaining it. So she isn't dead yet. She won't die until she obtains the Holy Grail, and she said she'll become a complete servant once she does so. Oh god. Oh my god, I've seen the light. Not dead. Then that must mean Saber is still in the cycle of rebirth. So she is not removed from the concept of time like other heroic spirits. Right, I think that's it. Tosaka said Saber's frozen in time by herself.
So
rather than disappearing after she accomplishes something, she continues to be summoned as a heroic spirit until she obtains the Holy Grail. But the Holy Grail has not yet been obtained, so she returns to her deathbed every time she fails, and she's been summoned into this time as well, bearing all her previous memories. Obtaining the Holy Grail in order to die. I do not understand heroes. And even if she does obtain it, all that is left for her is to be summoned as a servant. That's right. Even if she does obtain the Holy Grail and gets her wish granted, she'll just become like other servants, right? I don't like that. Anyways, what are servants? They say it's making heroes your familiars, but can that even be possible for a contradictory hero like Saber? I do not understand the system. Even though I'm a priest and claim to understand it. Eternal continuation of the soul. The servant system is constructed by imitating that secret process. Only the deviser would know about this. Eternal continuation of the soul? No, that is just in the past. That is just the past. It has nothing to do with this matter, so forget about it. So, Emiyashiro. You were saying you want her to stop being a servant, correct? Did he guess right? I certainly think Saber's situation is strange. It's fine that she wants to obtain the Holy Grail, but all that awaits her is elimination. If a king other than King Arthur is chosen and King Arthur is no more, I think it's wrong for her to be summoned as the hero King Arthur after that. So, if she can stop being a servant and live as a normal human being, that is impossible. Dead people will not come back to life, even if her time is stopped. Saber is already dead for us. The power of the Holy Grail summons her into this time because she accepted the price of becoming a heroic spirit. If she does not seek the Holy Grail, she will not be summoned as a servant, and as long as she seeks the Holy Grail, she will become a complete servant sooner or later. Even if she fails this time, she has infinite chances.
セイバーは未だ時間軸にとどまっているため、聖杯を手に入れる機会を
Since Saber is still in the loop of time, she cannot be in two chances to obtain the Holy Grail at once, and she cannot redo a chance she has already failed.
一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって
She will fail a chance she has already failed, no matter how many times she tries. Once she has experienced the result, she will not be able to change it.
だがそれでも聖杯を手に入れるのは時間の問題だろう。聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。
But still, it should only be a matter of time before she obtains the Holy Grail. It is not the only opportunity. This is not the only opportunity for her.
聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に
Trials to
存在
obtain
す
the
る。
Holy Grail exist in all ages.
そのすべてをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、
If she continues to challenge each one, she will obtain the Holy Grail.
そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ英霊と
From
し
the
て召
beginning,
喚されてい
she is
る
being
のだ。
summoned as a heroic spirit because she obtains the Holy Grail as a result.
お前のセーバーをサーバントでなくす方法など
From the moment she appeared in front of you, there was no way to stop her from becoming a servant. I thought so. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there is no way to stop her from being a servant. After all, she'll continue like this unless Saber decides to use the Holy Grail for her own sake. Even if this Holy Grail war ends and there's no need to fight anymore, she will go on to the next chance to obtain the Holy Grail if she cannot obtain it this time. Once she obtains it, she'll become this heroic spirit thing and be sent out to many ages.
じゃあ聖杯を手に入れようが手に入れまいがあいつはずっとサーバントのままなのか。
Then she'll continue to be a servant whether she obtains the Holy Grail or not?
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の
No,
杯であ
that
る
is
の
not
な
the
ら、
case.
セ
If
ーバ
the
ーを
Holy
救
Grail
う
is
こと
truly
はできる。
omnipotent, it will be able to save Saber. Huh?
けどあんたはさっき
But you just said that was
それは不可能だと。
impossible.
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。
Yes, it is impossible to stop Saber from becoming a servant.
だがお前が望んでいるのは、セーバーを人としてこの世に
But your wish is for her to stay in this world, is it not?
ならば、そう難しいことでは。
Then it is not that difficult.
聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。
You were able to keep her here as a human even after the Holy Grail War ends, although she will return when she dies.
それはどうやって。
How do I do that?
英霊とサーバントは似て
The
非なるも
heroic
の。
spirits and servants are spurious.
通常英霊として召喚される者には
Normally,
意志な
what
ど
is
ない。
summoned as a heroic spirit does not have a mind.
連中はただ目的を果
It
た
is
すた
summoned
め
as a
だけの
tool
道
to
具
meet an
として召
objective
喚
and
され
disappears.
消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。
But servants are different.
あれは聖杯によって呼び出さ
They're
れた
they're the
本体
true
だから
bodies summoned by the Holy Grail,
それならば世界に
so
と
they
どめ
can
て
live
お
as
くだけで
humans
人
just by
として生
keeping
きて
them
い
in this
く。
world.
そんなことできる
You
の
can
か。
do such a thing?
前回セイバーは聖杯が
Saber
壊れ
said
た
she
時点で
disappeared
消え
when
た
the
と言
Holy
って
Grail
た
was destroyed.
聖杯がなくなって
Isn't
しまえ
that
ば
true if servants can't stay if the Holy Grail is gone?
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、
Of course.
その後に
The
彼ら
Holy
を
Grail
維持
merely
させるの
summons
が
these
マスターの
servants,
役割。
and it is the role of the Master to maintain them after that.
だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持
But that is only possible because the Holy Grail is
聖杯
aiding
と
the
いう
Master.
強大な魔
The
力
magical
提供
energy
源
of
がなけ
a
れば
Magus is not
サ
enough
ー
to
バント
maintain
は
a
消え
servant.
てしまう。
If one does not have a donor called the Holy Grail, their servant will disappear.
なろうな。な
I
ら
thought so. Then,
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だ
no.
ろ。
If you do not have enough, all you need to do is compensate for that.
サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質
In
は
other words, kill people.
魂食いだ。存在濃度が薄れ始めたのなら
For servants, furnishing magical energy is only an act of compensation. It is their true nature to consume souls. If their existence starts to fade, it can be replenished using other souls. What? Does that mean attacking random people like Shinji did?
ふざけるな。
Don't be ridiculous. I can't do such a thing.
大体な、セイバー自身そこまでして残ろう
First
と
of
思
all,
ってない
Saber wouldn't want to stay if she had to go that far.
そうか。ならば、あとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。
I see. Then you would have to use the contents of the Holy Grail. It is simple. If you want Saber to live as a human being, have her consume the Holy Grail. He must have predicted my response. The priest's expression tells me that he was willing to reach this conclusion from the beginning.
それは聖杯で俺の願いを
You mean have the Holy Grail grant my wish?
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。
No, it has nothing to do with your wish. It is the contents of the Holy Grail itself.
リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むこと。
Did you not hear from Rin? Servants are able to start a second life by drinking the water of the Holy Grail.
もっとも、それはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然
That only means that they have become a familiar summoned in this age. Their bodies will still be that of a servant, but they will be able to stay in this world as long as their master is alive.
けどそれは
But that means... that hasn't solved anything. Even if she can stay in this world, it's meaningless if she's still a servant. She can't exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she stays in this world like that, she returns to that hill after she dies. And Saber wouldn't do it. She isn't interested in a second life, and she said she's going to use the Holy Grail for another purpose. Oh, but first of all, the key to everything is the Holy Grail. Does it mean that it still exists in this world?
話は分かった。結局聖杯を手に入れるしかないってことだろ。
I get it. That means I have to obtain the Holy Grail, right?
親父が壊したんだ。
But does the Holy Grail still exist? If my father destroyed it, then
もう何かね。
then what?
聖杯がないのなら戦う理由がない。
If there's no Holy Grail, there's no reason to fight. This ridiculous fight is pointless.
戦う理由はないか。何を
You
今
have no
更。
reason to fight, huh? Why do you say that now?
もとより君に理
You
由
had
な
no
どない
reason to fight from the very beginning. As he says so, time freezes. No reason to fight. That's what this priest told me before. At that time, I just became a master and didn't have much of a reason to fight. That's why I ignored it, and I thought it was just sarcasm. But what about now? I have a reason to fight. If there is a Holy Grail, I want to end this fight and give it to Saber. I have a reason to fight. I have a reason to fight. So why do his words make my body shake so much that I want to vomit?
まあよかろう。今はエミやシローの傷を切
We'll
開す
forget
る
about
時で
that
は
for
ない。
now. Now's not the time to open up your wounds. I hear a voice. A voice I don't want to hear. But it makes my mysterious nausea stop.
聖杯はある。もとより
There
聖
is a
杯は
Holy
受け
Grail.
皿に過ぎぬ
The
から
Holy
な。
Grail is only a vessel anyways.
なくなれば用意したもの
If
が
it goes
新
away,
しい聖
the
杯を
preparer
用
will
意する。
prepare another one.
用意したものが新しい聖杯を用意する
Preparer
っ
will
て。
prepare another one?
聖杯って
Is the
そんな
Holy
簡
Grail
単に
that
作れるも
easy
の
to
なの
make?
か。
器を作るだけならば
Just making the vessel is.
無論相応の技術が必要となってくるが
Of course.
もとよ
One
りその
needs an
技術な
appropriate
くして
skill,
聖杯
but
戦
the Holy
争は
Grail
成り
work
立
could
たな
not come to be without such a skill.
い。もともと聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく古より伝わる
First
魔
of
法
all,
の
the
釜
Holy
が
Grail is
原
not a
型な
cup that received the blood of God. It was based on a magical pot passed down from ancient times.
お前も魔術師の端くれならば
You
知っ
should
てい
know
る
about it if you are a magus.
ユートピアギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこに
Utopia.
は
It means an unreachable place in Greek.
万
It is
能
said
の
that an
釜がある
omnipotent
とされ
vessel
た
exists there.
このあらゆる神話の根底にある
And there were magi who
万
tried to
能の釜を
reproduce this
再現しよ
omnipotent
うとし
vessel.
た魔術師たちがいたそれがアインツベルムマキリトーサカの
They were three families, Einsburn, Makiri, and Tosaka.
連中は何代かにわたって万能の釜を再現する
They spent many generations researching the ritual to produce the omnipotent vessel and completed it 200 years ago.
それが一度目の聖杯戦争。人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の釜
That
を
was the first Holy
降臨さ
Grail
せ
War, the ritual that summoned the omnipotent vessel to the artificial Holy Grail to open up the path.
アインツベルンそれって
Einsburn?
イリアの家
You
のこと
mean
か
Ilias family?
そうだ。アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に
Yes,
長けてい
the
た。
Einsburn specialized in the golden rule of the line.
聖杯
They
の
were
模
the
造
best
品を作
suited to
る
make
技
an
術は
imitation
神業
of the
だ。
Holy Grail.
だが、それだけでは
But
聖
they
杯
cannot
を呼び
summon
出
the
すこ
Holy
とは
Grail
で
with
きない。
just that.
ふさわしい土地と強
They
力
need
な
a
呪縛
suitable
が必要
land
と
and
な
a
る。
strong curse.
それらを提供したのが
The ones who provided these were the Tosaka and the Makiri.
当時教会と魔術協会は
I love how when we first came here, he said he was going to summarize this, but this seems like more fucking exposition. Bullshit. Bullshit. Godamine, you lied. At that time, the Church and the Magic Association were in the middle of a bloody war. A far eastern land was chosen as a place for the ritual.
アインツベルンはそれを見越して遠坂を仲間に引き入れたのだろう。遠坂はここ一帯の霊地の持ち主であり、
Einsburn must have invited Tosaka in because Tosaka was in charge of the land around here and their master was a master of summoning.
アインツベルンとしては遠坂なくして聖杯召喚
For
は不可能
Einsburn,
だ。
the summoning of the Holy Grail would be impossible without the help of Tosaka.
だが、二つの家だけでは
But betrayal could easily occur with the two families involved.
ことは三すくみにすべきだと考えたのか。
They must have thought three should be involved, as they also brought in the Makiri
話を
family.
持ち込んだ。マキーも長い年月を持つ名
The
門でな。
Makiris are a family with a history as well.
こと使い魔に関しては優れた技法を持っていた。サーバントを縛る霊
They
樹
were
を
the
作り
family
上げ
most
た
skilled
の
with
もマキリ
familiars.
だ。
It was they that came up with the command spell to bind the servants.
そうして連中は聖杯召喚に一致団結したわけだが、
And they worked together to summon the Holy Grail. But when they succeeded, what came after was bloody killing.
一度目の聖杯の恒例は連中が戦っている間に終わってしまったら
The
しい。
summoning of the first Holy Grail was ended while the summoning of the first Holy Grail ended while they were busy killing each other.
そうして代を重ね、聖杯戦争というルールを作り、
As generations passed, they made rules called the Holy Grail War and went back to cooperating, at least in form.
遠坂はこの土地とサーバントを形作るシステムを提供し、
Tosaka provided this land and the system to model the servants, and Makiri provided the command spell to bind these servants.
そしてアインツベルンは
And Einsburn supplies the vessel for the Holy Grail to dwell in.
それらが彼らの敷いた協力
That
関
is
係
the
というわけ
cooperation they decided on. The priest continues happily as if something pleases him. But I see. They say the Holy Grail War is a ritual, but Ilias' family was the original proposer.
聖杯を用意したのはアインツ
It
ベル
was
ン
the
だから
Einsburn
だ。
that prepared the Holy Grail.
前回キリツグに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。
As they were betrayed by Kiritsugu last time, they have thrown in their greatest
アインツベルンの娘が
trump
聖
card.
杯を持って
The
いるの
daughter of the
は
Einsburn probably holds the Holy Grail. Ilia has the Holy Grail? That's weird. I don't think she had anything with her.
さて、これで気は済んだか。
Well, are you happy
お
now?
前が何を
I
悩
do
む
not
の
know
かは
what troubles
私に
you.
は知り得ない。だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。
But the only
そ
way
れ
to
が分
solve
かった
it
の
is to
なら
use the
早
Holy
々に
Grail.
帰るがいい。
Now that you know that, go home.
戦いはまだ
Get
終
the
わ
fuck
っていな
out,
い。
kid.
聖
Get out of my
杯の
church.
つけずに出歩くのは
You ain't giving me no donations. Get out! The battle is not yet over. You are crazy to be walking about without having Saber by your side.
余計なお世話だ。まだランサーの
That's none of your business. I know there's still Lancers, Master. Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask him.
ことみね。聖杯が消えれば
Kodamine, servants will disappear once the Holy Grail disappears.
あんたはそう言ったな。
That's what you said, right?
言ったが何か
Yes.
問題
Do you
が
have a problem with that?
終わりだ。何者かは知らないが、8人目のサーファントがいた。セイバーの話じゃ、あいつは前回からず
I
っと
do.
この場に
I don't
残
know
って
who
る
it is, but there is an 8th servant. According to Saber, he has remained in this world since the previous war. What? It must have been a surprise. Kotomine opens his eyes and mutters in disbelief.
どういうことだ、琴峰。
What's going
あ
on?
んたなら
I
少
came
し
here
は
since
分
I
かる
thought
と
you
思って
would
きた
know.
だぞ。
消えなかったサーバントがいる。
So you were saying there is a servant that did not disappear?
そう不思議ではあるまい。前回の戦いは
It
セ
is
ーバ
not
ーが
that
聖杯
strange.
を破壊
The
する
previous
ことで
war
終わっ
ended
た
with Saber destroying the Holy Grail.
つまりセーバーの他にもう一
So in
人
other words, there was still another servant left.
セイバーは潔く消えたがそのサーバントが限界する
Saber
ことを望ん
disappeared
だ
by her
の
own
な
will,
ら
but if a servant
話は
wished to
たや
stay,
すい
then the answer is simple.
それは魂を食らうことで魔力を補いこの10年間生き
He
続
must
け
have
たのだ
acquired the magical energy he needed by feeding on souls and lived past 10 years.
そんなバカな。
That's ridiculous. His presence was absurd.
あんなのが10年間もいたら、親父だってあんただって気がつくはず
You
だ。
or my father certainly would have noticed if that thing had been around for 10 years.
分かっているおそらくかくまっている者がいたのだ
I know. Someone was
その
probably
サー
hiding
バン
you.
トのマス
The
ター
servant's master,
も
or,
しくは
もしくは、
or
なんだ
what?
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの
A Magus who knew about the Holy Grail War but did not become a master.
そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだ
I know of one such person, but that is impossible as well. The old Makiri has already
マキリの五郎隊
retired.
はとうに隠居している
Konomine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ今の話を聞いては
This is
監
it.
督役と
I
して
cannot
放
let
っ
this
て
be
は
as a
おけ
supervisor.
そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう
I shall investigate that
お
servant.
前は残る
You
ラ
should
ンサーとの
concentrate on
戦
your
いに
remaining
専
battle
念
with
するがいい
Lancer. Konomine walks to the exit as if there's nothing more to talk about. Well, there's certainly nothing more to be gained from being here. I leave the dark room and follow Konomine, who leads me to the exit silently. I leave the church. Behind me.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬその意味が分かっているのだろうな
Saber will die
Emi
once she
Yashiro.
obtains the Holy Grail. You know what that means, don't you, Emiyashiro? The priest asks as if confirming it. The priest is looking down at me from the doorway. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I already know that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail, and she doesn't want the Holy Grail's power. Once she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind her. She will be freed from her situation, frozen on the verge of death, and she will die an unrewarded death on that hill.
どういう風の吹き回しだ。あんたがそんな
What's
忠告
wrong?
するため
You're
か
not the type to give that kind of warning, are you?
なにお前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしい
I
の
was
だ
just happy that you are supporting Saber.
私なりの行為と
I'm
して
warning
忠
you out of
告しているの
kindness.
だよ聖杯を手に入れてしまえば
Saber will
セー
disappear
バーは
once she obtains the Holy Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば
If you wish to be with her,
聖杯
you should
は
give up
諦
the
め
Holy
るべき
Grail.
だろうとな
それこそ矛盾してる。聖杯がなかったら、セイバーをとどめておけない。
That's even more of a contradiction. I won't be able to keep Saber here if I don't have the Holy Grail.
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい先ほどのサーバントの話もある
You do not need to rely on the Holy Grail. It's just like that servant we were talking about.
魂を与
If
え
you want to
続けれ
keep
ばいい
Saber,
だけでは
all you need to do is feed her souls.
ふざけるな。
Don't play with me. I can't do that. I glare at the priest.
そうかそ
I
れは
see.
残念だ
That is too bad. He must not even care about my glare as the priest is laughing.
ならば聖杯の中身に
Then
期
your
待す
only
るし
hope
か
is
な
the
い
contents of the Holy Grail.
お前のサーバントが望まないにしても
Even if your servant does not
Leisure
wish it,
shots no
all you
wish
have
to
to do
give
is
us
keep
already.
one command spell. Your wish will
お
be
前
granted
の
that
望
way.
みはそれで叶う
The priest is saying that it doesn't matter even if Saber doesn't want it. That if I'm a master, I can just force Saber to drink using the power of the command spell.
おや失言だったか そう睨む
Did
な。
I offend you?
あくまで今のは
Don't
忠告
glare
に
so
過ぎぬ。
much. Don't glare at me so much. That was just a warning.
ま、セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生
Well,
だ。
you could also
我々が
respect
口を出
Saber's
す権利
choice.
はない。
It is her life. We have no right to say anything about it. Although I wouldn't recommend that.
例のサーバントに関しては明日中に調
I
べ
shall
上げよう。
investigate that servant tomorrow.
気が向いたのなら
Come here
も
again
う
if
一
you
度
feel
訪
like
れる
it.
がいい。
The door to the church closes. Looking up at the church, I grit my teeth, telling myself that I will never come here again. I crossed the moonlit bridge. This is the place where I walked with Saber. At that time, I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything.
聖杯を手に入れれば
Saber will
は
die
死
if
ぬ
she obtains the Holy Grail.
その意味が分かっている
You
の
know
だろう
what that
が
means, Yashiro. I know. I know without him telling me. But why is everything so complicated? Saber must not obtain the Holy Grail, but it is the only thing that can save her.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦め
If
る
you
べ
wish
き
to
だ
be with her, you should give up the Holy Grail.
それでも存命させたいのなら
If you wish to keep Saber,
彼女に
all you
魂
need
を
to do
与え
is feed
続
her
ければいい。
souls. I can't do that. Even if I accepted that, Saber wouldn't. She would rather disappear than do such things. She would disappear and repeat this kind of war.
ならば0時を一つ残してお
Then
けばそれ
keep
でいい
one command spell.
お前の望みは
That
それ
way,
で叶う
your wish shall be granted.
黙りやがれ。
Damn, shut up, you shitty priest. You child molesting motherfucker. I stop and punch the rails as if shaking off the command spell. A hard steel sound echoes through the night. That's the only sound around here. There's no people nor cars around.
くそ。
Damn,
よその気に
why
な
am
って
I even thinking about it? I lean on the rail and spit it out. I know I should just ignore Kodamine's opinion, but his words had a charm that make me unable to ignore them. What did I want to do, and what was I trying to fight for? At first, it was to end the Holy Grail War. When did that purpose fade away and become secondary? Was it when I was obstinate about fighting by myself? Was it when I decided to cooperate with Saber after I painfully realized how powerless I was? Or is it from that time I made a sword for her after that night in the ruins? I'm just trying to deceive myself with all that. I don't even need to think about it. Back then, when I met her in the moonlight in that shed, my mind was already made up. But that would have been fine. If I hadn't found out because of the dreams, this probably would have ended before I knew it. But I found out. I couldn't leave her alone and decided I didn't want to lose her. I want to stay like this. I want to keep watching her smile. Ow. That girl, watching the sunset alone on that hill of swords. My chest hurts thinking back to it. She never had time that was her own. I just don't like that. Kiritsugu said we shouldn't let girls cry. I think a smiling face is much better than a crying one. That's why I was irritated when Saber wasn't smiling. But when I told her to smile, she said that it was better if she saw me smiling. It's like seeing stars through a telescope that you can never reach. Damn it. I look up at the night sky, looking up at the star I can never reach. Drip. An unnoticed tear falls down my cheek.
俺、あいつが好きだ。
I like her. I say so to no one. However dull I am, I have to admit it. Well, at least you're dull. There's nothing I can do about it. I like her so much that I can cry for no reason.